Thank you, friend. Shabbat Shalom, and greetings to you all. I was lucky enough to hear from my fairy godmother the other day. It was wonderful hearing from her. It's always such a treat. We all have fairy godmothers and fathers, but we don't always know who they are. And many enjoyed the celebrations that have been going on, especially the celebration of Israel's 75th birthday. It's a wonderful day, wonderful sanctuary, a wonderful homeland for the world's perpetually homeless. Why should anyone resent anyone else having a home? We also mentioned last week that Iran's invitation to the leadership of the UN Human Rights Council is just a little bit on the odd side. And just to show the nature of today's world, Canada, the land of the true north, strong and free, proposed itself as a candidate for the UN Human Rights Council. And it was told it must demonstrate a true commitment to human rights, both in word and in deed. Otherwise, no seat on the council. Oh well, no Canada, but welcome Iran. Speaking of birthdays, it was the birthday of the great epic bard of 20th century music, and the revolution he brought and influence on those around him is truly immeasurable. The great Nobel laureate, Robert Zimmerman, how do you begin to measure the impact this one man has had on music, the genres, the performers, the writers, the creators? How long will the never-ending tour go on? The answer, my friends, is blowing in the wind. And some mentioned to me that Satan's birthday's coming up. There's been a lot of talk lately about Satan and things going on in the States and schools and all the rest of that. Now, I don't know about that. How would anybody know? Who's been around long enough to remember? Well, even Satan deserves a good birthday. How nice can you be if everybody hates you? I'm sure all the negativity thrown his way has had a tremendous effect on him. Just as every cop is a criminal, and all the sinners saints. As heads tails, just call me Lucifer, 'cause I'm in need of some strength. So if you need me, have some courtesy, have some sympathy, and some taste. Use all your weather politics, don't pay your soul to waste. Nice to meet you, hope you kiss my name. Now we all remember that. So happy birthday, Satan. Well, you know what? There's a break this week from normal Torah reading, if you call any week normal, because it's the second day of the Feast of Weeks, Shavuot, one of the three gathering festivals, and that's all Shavuot means, is weeks. Therefore, it's one of the times when a public gathering has become one of the times of the public mourning, the East Coast service, to honor the spirit memory and elevate the souls of those in your hearts and minds. So it's never too late to light a candle. Now, there's three gathering festivals called for, but what's not called for is the weekly gathering that we do when we come together on the Sabbath as a collective consciousness of seekers showing faith, any and all faith, love, any and all love. Because the Sabbath was designed to be an individual observation, but it has become a true chavura, fellowship, as we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all, this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. Even though together, we're all individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her their own way. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, any way at all to gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Tov, come together. Hine Tov. Hine Tov. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 together. Let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because we all believe in something. It's part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. And goodwill and intention are the roots of what you can control, of what you can correct. It is your intention that sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives. Let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Let's send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing, some renewal out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewal is for everybody. It just floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know, for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people, it's for our pets, it's the earth. It is the healing of the world. The tikkun olam that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. We have to help heal the world. We must each do what we can to improve our own little corner of the universe. As we improve our own lives, we improve the lives of everybody around us. Part of that healing. So we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick. It is a prayer for healing of the sick, but they don't have to be. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. So let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. Pray for those who need prayer, because prayer is an effective method of communication with God, of entreating, of helping ourselves, others. We don't have to know them. We truly do want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us. For Snoopy, Cardinal, for Virginia and Barry, for Terry and Lisa, for Jenna, Jamie and Cheryl and Carol, for Gloria and Danny, for Tally, Nina, for Ronnie and Connie, for Johnny and Fern, for all those suffering and in need. And let's not forget to include the familiars of our lives, all of our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everyone you know in need, for the whole world, for the bee. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing, wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Me, Avotenu, Makor HaBracha, Limotenu. May the source of strength bless the one there for us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Amen. Misha Barak, let us all have our spirits renewed. This, my friends, is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Misha Barak, may He who blessed, because all healing is a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing, renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now, we said it was the second day of the gathering festival of Shavuot, which we said means 7. It's a holiday not named for what, but for when? 7 weeks after Passover. 7 days. 7 more days shall be coming. I'll be watching at the station for her to arrive. 7 more days. All I gotta do is survive. I made it 7 days instead of 7 weeks. Now it is the anniversary of the Great Epiphany, celebrated as the day that God gave the Torah to the children of Israel on Mount Sinai 3,335 years ago. And of course, Torah means instruction, teaching. It's the 10 rules, not the thousands of pages explaining them. Keep them simple. No other gods. There's only one power of creation, of everything, one source. No graven image. It's not human, not imaginable in our ways. No false oaths in the name of God. Have true respect for creation and its power. Remember the Sabbath day to make it holy. Ceasing is essential to life. Honor your father and your mother. Never forget where you came from. No murder, no adultery, no stealing, no being a lying witness, no coveting. These need no explanation. They are physical, emotional, intellectual rules of life and respect. The great epiphany. What else do you need? Now, the other thing about this holiday is it was and is the time to read the book of Ruth. Right? It's the only time, actually. It's one of the shortest of the 24 books in the Bible and is found in the Ketuvim, the writings. If you didn't want to read it, you could have watched the 1960 movie or the 90s cartoon. Both were pretty good. It's a great story. And the book of Ruth contains some of the most famous lines in the Bible and a very interesting historical theme. You see, the women in the Bible automatically followed the spiritual practice or religion of their husbands. Now, here's what happens in the story. Ruth and Orpah, I often say Oprah, two women of Moab, are married to the sons of Elimelech and Naomi. Now, all three men die, and Naomi is going to move back to Bethlehem from Moab. She tells her daughter-in-laws to return to their families and their lands. Orpah does, but Ruth refuses to leave Naomi. And she says, where you go, I will go. Where you live, I will live. Your people will be my people. Your God, my God. Where you die, I will die. We've all heard those words. This is where they come from. Where you lead, I will follow. Anywhere that you tell me to, if you need me to be with you, I will follow where you lead. She is the epitome of loyalty and devotion. And she later marries Boaz, who was actually a relative of her father-in-law. He sees her in the fields, falls in love with her. And we're also given another important lesson here, that the remnants of the fields must be left for the members of society we are to care for, the widows, the orphans, those truly in need. And that is stood by from the time the Bible was written. Well, they marry and they have a son. His name's Obed. And he becomes the grandfather of King David. So Ruth is revered for her stand, her loyalty, devotion, and her lineage connected to the fourth of God's covenants with man, the line of kings through David. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy. Be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill, love. Pray for peace, freedom for everybody, an end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's all send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. Please do. Learn to forgive. Learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships in your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey. Because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now, bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intention. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our Kavana, cause and effect. Everything's linked. You have time to forgive and be forgiven because you have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But always do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you. You should learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not